Good morning, people. How are you all? I hope you are all absolutely fantastic on this Thursday morning, the 25th of February, I think it is. Only 3 days till March. How amazing is that? The year's flying in already. And this morning I have got my lovely friend on, Susan Watson. And we're going to be speaking today all about our Sacred Depths workshop, but equally we'll always have organic chat about other things that will absolutely help you guys with your emotional, physical, spiritual well-being. So, welcome, Susan. Good morning.
Hello, Stephen. Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm nice and cosy in my wee office. Got a big winter woolly jumper on here.
I've got beads of sweat running down my back. See, instead of taking the kids to school in the car this morning or taking the wee one to school in the car this morning, Nikki and I decided to walk with the dog, and we actually ran down to the school. So yeah, I'm feeling really... Aye, little changes like that. Amazing. I'm just going to put that music off because it's doing my head in.
That didn't last long, did it?
I said to Susan, I was like, I'm going to keep that music on because it's nice and chilled in the background, and then no, it's doing my head in now. So this morning, Susan, we are talking about the workshop that we're delivering next Sunday, a week on Sunday.
7th.
Yeah, the 7th of March. And it's our Sacred Depths workshop. And Susan and I wanted to do something because obviously we work really well together. And we wanted to do something that had that was really going to help to support people's physical, emotional, spiritual well-being, and really help you to try and facilitate some kind of change within yourself and feel wonderful as a result of it. So put our heads together. Susan is doing an awful lot of the anxiety release, all of the physical stuff, the psychotherapy kind of stuff, and I'm doing the spiritual stuff, which is really, really cool. So, Susan, talk to me about what you're going to be doing. Well, I know what you're going to be doing, but tell everybody what you're going to be doing as part of our workshop.
I would always, as we've talked about in here, go on a little bit about self-regulation and teach ways to do that. But I'll also talk about the window of tolerance, which we all have, and how when we get overstressed and anxious or have had trauma, that window of tolerance shrinks. So I'll be looking at ways how to expand that, because if we can tolerate more in life, we become less stressed, less depressed, less anxious. So I'll be talking about that, talking about the emotions, and teaching you ways actually to manage your emotions. But actually, how many of us have said things like, that Stephen, he really sort of annoys me and he gets me angry. Do you know what? Every time I see him, I just feel, it just makes me feel like this way. Well, in fact, nobody can make you feel anything.
You better not be saying that.
No, but the point I'm making is we've all used expressions like that. That person makes me feel that way, right? Yeah. And in fact, nobody can make you feel any way, right? There's a program running which reacts perhaps to that person based on past learning. And we'll be talking about all that as well, and how you manage your emotions and the importance in managing your emotions and how they impact your life and health actually in every way. So that's quite it's not a big, huge chunky actually. I'm going to correct Stephen, because Stephen said he's doing all the spiritual stuff. I'm doing Ho'oponopono, which is actually spiritual.
Ho'oponopono. It's actually, I've experienced it or seen it being done before, and what an absolutely amazing thing it is, isn't it? It's very much about releasing and letting go, and
there's different levels. There's two sort of ways I've worked with Ho'oponopono. The first one is where is like the Hawaiian forgiveness. So it's the letting go and releasing. But there's another way you can go into your Ho'oponopono room, which I'll be doing with everybody so they can experience this. And we're actually, it's whatever your mind throws up.
Mm-hmm.
You're in an area of protection in your Ho'oponopono room, and we ask the invited to step forward. That's all I'm going to say, right? And it's a way of clearing the past through that. And I'm not going to go too much into it because actually it's a wonderful experience. And people think when I talk about forgiveness, it's about forgiving another person for hurt or harm they've done. It's not that at all. It's actually all about setting yourself free from bitterness and anger and all the other things that we can carry inside us. So it's actually very freeing and very liberating. Very, very good for your well-being. So that's quite exciting. We're going to do a whole session, a whole experience on that for everyone who comes in the workshop.
So we've got all those self-regulation exercises, which, you know, the self-regulation exercises, we've spoke very much about them over the last few months in our surgeries in the mornings. And, you know, what people don't see, Susan, I think, is the impact that it really, truly has on people. You know, you get lots of messages. I get messages from people saying what a difference it's making to my life. And, you know, just yesterday you'd got a lovely message that you'd shared with me from someone who had said that it's really making a difference. And, you know, they look forward to Mondays and Fridays when you and I are having a giggle.
Yeah. And do you know what? That's lovely to hear. It is lovely to hear. And this lovely person, she actually brightened up my day because she was sharing with the difference that we've made with her and the things that we talk about in her life. And I just thought, well, that's what it's all about, really.
Absolutely. And that's really why we wanted to do this workshop as well for anybody watching, because, you know, we've given you all these tips and hints and help, you know, whether that be the stuff that Susan's been given or that be like, you know, the spiritual aspect of it, which obviously Susan does have that spiritual aspect as well. And we really wanted to blend everything together and create this wonderful workshop where people were able to have a full experience over a couple of weeks, you know. And I believe that it's something that we're going to do when we go back to normal, you know, maybe have it in the summer and the autumn months where, you know, we can have an in-person workshop as well, maybe over a full day or over 2 half days like we're doing over Zoom. What's the difference though, Susan, between us doing this in person and us doing it via Zoom?
The only thing that's different, I think, is when you're in person, it's a sort of a different energy at times when you're in person. Going back to motor neurons here, and we all pick energies up from each other. But actually, doing it on Zoom, you still get the benefit of everything that we're actually doing. And for some people, they'll actually find Zoom more beneficial because they can actually feel less self-conscious because they're not in a group. And they can actually involve themselves more without thinking that they're being watched, if you like. They've got that choice. And what I'm aiming for with the workshop, with the stuff that I'm doing, is for people to understand how they can release, them doing it themselves, but using the techniques I'm showing, release emotional baggage. We all carry emotional baggage. Be able to move on from that. Help with thinking and thoughts. And I'll be doing actually an exercise on the workshop as a group, and I'll be leading it to actually change emotions. I won't know what it is. All I'll say to somebody is think of something that you feel you'd like to let go of. So I don't even need to know what it is. And on that workshop, I'll help the person make changes to that. So that is, I expect people to feel so much more refreshed, more in control, understand how their body works, they'll feel more confident. And you know what? There will be opportunities to release and let go. So it's not just, let's come on to a workshop. You're talking about potentially really life-changing experiences for people. And all the things that I'm doing, I've had done to me. And I know how I've felt when I've had them done and the difference they've made to me. But you have to become involved in them. You have to want to do them. Yeah. And importantly, you have to want to let go. And that might sound like a strange thing because although people think I might not want to feel like that, if it's releasing something that's hurt you, Some people can't help it, they hang on to it. You've got to be ready to let go and make the changes. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really good fun.
It really is. And I think what I love about this workshop is I think it's very different from anything that we've ever done before at the Soul Man and Friends, and I think for you as well, Susan, would you agree? Yeah. So, I think we've taken everything that we've done over the surgeries and all of that and kind of pulled it together to make this a very personal journey that actually doesn't have to be shared with anybody. There will be opportunities for you to share experiences in the course, but or in the workshops. But it's your choice whether you want to share those experiences. And Susan and I definitely wouldn't be saying, so share with us, tell us, what did you just experience, or tell us why you're here. It may just be that someone wants to have that very immersive experience without actually having to share any of it, And one thing about the Soul Man Academy, and which you're part of, Susan, is that there's just this amazing sense of belonging when you participate in any of our stuff. Susan is part of our community, but when you're training and when you're learning with other people as well, you become friends with these people. You form lifelong friendships. So there's that whole when you're going through an experience with people, you're also gaining new experiences with friendships and things like that, aren't you? So.
And I think the connection is really important as well, because we all, as human beings, to feel balanced and healthy, need to connect. That's just the way we're made. We're mammals, really. And to do that and have that connection with people is it's very healing and balancing as well.
Yeah. And what Susan and I will do as well as part of the workshop over the 2 weeks, we'll also set up a private Facebook group as well, so that you guys can communicate with each other, speak to each other, connect with each other. And Susan and I will just have a wee glance at it. We'll not get too involved in it, because I think we're part of about 75,000 groups on Facebook, aren't we?
What I would say about the benefit of that is because everything that we're doing in the workshop, and I mean, there is inner journeys that I'm doing, and there's other changes to help people in other ways that I'm not going to go too much in it, because I want some surprises for people. But it's changing life going forward. So it's like a journey that you go on. So if you actually got that group, people can support each other. I mean, challenges come up. It's giving you tools to get over these challenges and keep moving. And I always go on about live your best life. And this is what it's all about, is helping people move on to live their best life, their happiest life, their most balanced life that they can have. And I truly, truly believe that everybody deserves the opportunity to do that. And that is why, really, that I know that I work with the mental, the emotional, and the physical, because mentally and emotionally it affects how your body feels. Dabble a little bit with the Ho'oponopono and other things, that inner journeys that you could class as spiritual, but you actually are the man for that, right? There's no doubt about that, right? And what you can bring in, and together, it's almost like we've got the whole picture then.
Yeah, it's very much a holistic approach to facilitating healing, and to heal is to facilitate your own healing. So, everything that Susan and I are doing during this, we're not promising that we can heal anybody by any means, but what we are doing is we're giving you an invitation to start the healing process within you. And that very much starts with making that first step, I suppose, and just being there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. I say all the time, people get fed up with me saying it, I think, is even when people come to see me, that I am a facilitator. I show you how to do it. All the work, all the changes, anything that you want to achieve, you have to do it yourself.
Absolutely.
I'm just here to show you how and to support you on that journey. Yeah. And I think that's really important. And you're absolutely right, Stephen. It's important that people understand that. Because actually all that magic is inside each person to make that change. You just got to know how to do it.
And through it as well, I know that I've already mentioned that we'll have that Facebook community, but that's where things are a little bit different as well, because we're going to have that Facebook community and we're able to share resources in there that, you know, we might not necessarily be able to share publicly, because, you know, there's a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing that, you know, it's not okay to share it and make it public knowledge. So, you know, if we can share those resources within the group, it means that you guys have got access to, you know, files, you've got access to helpful videos, all of that kind of stuff. And it's not just the 2-week journey, although the workshop is over 2 weeks and all you'll pay is the £40 for those 2 weeks or that workshop. It's much more than just that, isn't it, Susan? So it's very much a journey where it's going to last you a lifetime if you use the resources that we give you correctly.
And I have a multitude of resources that I would be sharing in that group to help people move on. And if anybody in the group came up with challenges that they're experiencing in life, because we all have challenges, but there's all the unexpected that comes up, then even if it wasn't necessarily linked to what we were working on in the workshop, I could still offer something to help that person in that group, then I would certainly do that as well.
Yeah. So my role in the whole thing as well, obviously, you know, because Susan's doing all of these amazing things. My role is very much to support Susan, to facilitate the whole workshop kind of thing. And what I mean is like all the behind the scenes stuff, fixing everything, sorting everything, and also being there to help present it. But my role is equally to facilitate the very spiritual side of things, which is meditation and really getting your mind down to that very calm, very chilled place. So you'll be in a wonderful position to meditate effectively after all of this stuff. And the meditation really is like the beautiful ribbon that ties it all together at the end of the sessions, isn't it, Susan?
Yeah, it is. It's a perfect addition. It is. I'm just going to be cliche, the icing on the cake, actually. It just makes it exactly what it finishes it off beautifully.
Yeah. So we do have a wonderful package for you all. We're doing it over 2 weeks as well. So for anybody who isn't, I'm just looking at my notes here, just checking that I'm getting the information right. We are doing it over 2 weeks. It does involve lunch as well that you provide for yourself. Sorry, that's a really bad joke.
Yes.
Hey, that's funny. And the first week it starts on the 7th of March, and the second week we are going to do. And now there's a bit of conflict with this because we've realised that the second week it will be Mother's Day. So what we're going to do is we're going to speak to all the people who enrol, and we're going to ask them if they want to do it on Mother's Day or if they would like to change it to the week after. Is that right, Susan? Just double checking that. Yeah.
And I can be flexible. I can do it when it suits people best. I'm okay with that.
So we would do that. And, you know, I think as well, I don't know, I'm speaking for you, Susan, so you might slap me. But, you know, anybody who maybe wasn't able to attend, if we had 2 or 3 people that weren't able to attend with the majority, I'm sure Susan would be happy to do a mop-up session.
Would you? Yes, Stephen, let's talk about being slapped. No, that's absolutely fine.
And
minute there, though.
Yeah, I knew it would be fine. That's the reason why I said it.
You're still getting slapped, though.
Well, I would be really happy to give up my time, and I'm sure that you would be really happy to give up your time to do that also. So
yeah, I can do that. I'm fine.
And what, like, from it as well, what are people going to get at the end of it? Because, you know, if anybody is wanting to do anything, they need to know what they're going to get at the end of it. So what would you say, in your words, people are going to get from participating in this?
For the benefits of joining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is they're going to take away methods that they can use every single day of their life, reduce stress, anxiety, to sleep better, to feel more confident, They will hopefully have used that opportunity to release any unwanted baggage, so they'll feel lighter, freer, happier, more joyous. All these things that everybody wants to live a life. That's what they'll do. But importantly, they leave with their own wee tool bag. Everything that we do in there, there'll be things that we've not even talked about, because I don't want to tell you everything that I'm going to do in there, because I want you to be surprised at all the methods and the techniques I'm actually bringing there. And it's going to be really a different experience from anything that most people have ever had in the workshop, because it's a very blend of therapies. But you'll feel happier, better, lighter, more confidence, and most absolutely, without a doubt, you'll have a far greater understanding of your mind and your emotions and how you can manage them. And then you'll have Stephen's wonderful, wonderful meditations that you'll know now how to go into that relaxed and calm place. Fantastic. Yeah. For £40, that's a bargain.
Absolutely. And what you're going to get from me, obviously, you're going to get all that from Susan, but you're equally going to get from me that ability to be able to actually facilitate meditation into your life, which probably you've never been able to do before. You know, you might have tried many times in the past. And meditation, it's much simpler than people think. You know, I've been teaching meditation now for 23 years. That's mental, eh?
23 years. You were just a bairn, just a baby, Stephen, when you started.
I'm getting old. Well, 23 years away from now is actually, I'm older than you think. You know, I know I look like 30, but I'm older than you think.
No, you didn't.
But yeah, like, see, for me, it's all about making it simple. It's not about complicating it, you know. And I think there is a lot of, there's many different. I think there's over 100 different types of meditation out there now. So, you know, for me, it's about making it really simple and really accessible for people. So
I like to work as well. Keep everything simple. If things are simple, people will do it. Why complicate things?
Absolutely. So that is our workshop, and I really do hope that, because we do have quite a few people already signed up, so we really wanted to try and get as many people as we could, because obviously we want to help as many people as we can, you know. And on the surgeries on a Monday and a Friday, well, I keep thinking this is Friday, it's no Friday, it's Thursday. On a Monday and a Friday, Susan and I are here, and we're always helping people with all of the stuff that we're doing in the surgeries. But there's only so much that you can do to help when you're doing it via a live feed like this. So, you know, in the workshops, it's going to be very immersive. It's going to be, you know, 3 hours on Zoom is quite a long time over 2 weeks. We'll have a break in between as well, won't we?
Yeah.
A 10-minute break.
You'll be able to go for a tea and a coffee.
So there will be breaks in there as well if anybody is interested. So do you have any questions on it? So because obviously this session today, it's all about our workshop.
You could tell people how to sign up and register, Stephen.
I've already done it.
Have you? Oh, well then, there you go.
So it's here. So for anyone interested in coming along, it's a Google form. So all you need to do, I've put that in the comments. You just click on the Google form and you'll be able to sign up like that. And at the end of the week, Susan and I will be sending you either an email or a text message, whatever your preferred method of contact is. And we'll be letting you know all about what the Zoom link is, how to get in, how to access our Facebook group, all of that kind of stuff. So we'll tie all that up at the end of the week and send all that across to you. Now, the registration, it closes on the 28th, but we may stretch it a couple of days further than that. So, yeah, that's how to get in touch. That's how to register. So do you have any questions? Because we do have lots of you watching this morning. So do you have any questions on the workshop or anything that you want to actually ask Susan? Or me?
Or ask you, yeah. Ask Stephen. Ask him loads of questions.
I've been vulnerable already this week, and I'm not going to be vulnerable again. twice this week. Monday we had my soulscaping journey, and then Tuesday I had my bloody mother on.
I know. That was lovely, though. I liked that. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was really good. It was it's quite emotional, actually. I think when I was speaking to my mum, there was lots of stuff that I didn't know. You know, the whole when I was a baby reaching out to people and all of that kind of stuff. I never knew that.
I thought it was lovely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go and Zoom with my mother. The thing that she would say.
Get your mum on one day. That would be great fun.
No, that will never happen. I can tell you that now.
We could do a Mother's Day special, Susan Watson and
Old Dragon. I should add that that's actually an endearment, and my mum does actually like getting called the Old Dragon.
Yeah, and she was in the paper recently, actually. You know,
her 90th birthday.
Her 90th, yeah. So if you missed that, Betty, Susan's mum, was in the newspaper for the Tesco delivery drivers had.
It was lovely.
And chocolates and all the rest of it. So she was absolutely over the moon with that, wasn't she?
It was really unexpected. I was there, and we opened the door, and the Tesco guy was there, and they had flowers, chocolates, gift vouchers, big birthday cake, a card signed by all the Tesco drivers. And that was just lovely, really lovely. I mean, it really was lovely. Yeah. She was like, "Oh, is this for me? Is this real? Is this possibly true?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's okay, Mum. You can take it. Are you sure it's for me?" It was lovely. It was lovely. I thought it was beyond anything that anyone had to do. So it was really nice. And I like that.
I'm just sorry, Susan, I'm trying to do two things at once.
That's all right. I'm used to that. You just dump me in front of a camera and leave me to talk.
Yeah, that's...
Oh no, he has dumped me in front of the camera and left me to talk. So I was like, "Oh, what am I going to do now?"
April's asking what times it's at. So Sacred Depths Workshop begins 7th of March, 12 till 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Across 2 weeks. And week 2 to be confirmed.
Yeah. And I think that's right to give people the option, because people might have plans for Mother's Day. They might be doing something special in their house or something. Yeah. So, you know, I'll be as flexible as we can.
Absolutely. There you go. There you go, April. That's you. It's up just under your comment. Sacred Depths Workshop begins 7th of March, 12 till 3 across 2 weeks.
And you know what? This is a time when I've drafted out all the things that I want to do in this workshop, but I'm going to throw it out there. If anyone has something that they would particularly like included in the workshop, this is an ideal time to share that with us.
Yeah.
Because there's a possibility that I might be able to do something about that. And you, Stephen, there's a possibility we can review what we're doing and see what the content is. If we get enough people wanting to know about certain things, then I'm happy to do things.
Yeah, absolutely. So we could stitch some different things into the workshop if anybody is interested in doing other things.
Well, the important thing is here that every single person that comes along is leaving with something that's going to really benefit them. And you know what? I think I pretty much nailed that at the moment. But I've still got a bit of flexibility to tailor things to suit individuals a little bit as well. Because I can work in that way anyway. Because if one person's got a certain situation or an experience they want to work on, you can almost guarantee that other people have the same. They might not just be speaking it, asking for it.
Will I share what we're doing over the 2 weeks as well, Susan? Will I just let everybody know? Yeah. So on workshop on workshop 1. We're asking that you bring a pen and paper for notes, obviously, or even, invest in a nice little book, because that can be your little journey journal. So we'll be doing anxiety. What is stress and anxiety? We'll also be doing self-regulation exercises. So we'll be giving you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 self-regulation exercises. We'll be talking about emotions. What are they? Taking care of them. We will be doing sound and tapping for unwanted emotions. And there's a free download in that part of the section as well. Then you'll be able to have a pee, a tea, a fag, whatever it is that you're doing. And then we're going to be doing power stance, breathing exercises, and then finishing off with the meditation.
I want to talk a little bit, just so people know, about this sound and tap. This is something that we will be participating in with you, and you can think of an emotion that you feel linked to an event, and it's a little bit bypassing your critical mind and working with your unconscious mind, actually, to make the changes that are right for you. And every single person will be thinking about what they want to change, so we'll all be different. And I'll be doing it, and Stephen will be doing it. It's fun, but it's the key here is that it bypasses this thinking mind that we are using now and works with your unconscious mind to make the changes that are right for you. Plus, you'll get copies of this to take home and use at home whenever you want. We'll put that in the group for you so you can use that.
Yeah. Workshop 2, we will be covering self-regulation again. We'll be doing an inner journey experience. Not gonna share too much about that, but an inner journey experience, which is absolutely fantastic. We will be doing meditation as well. We'll be doing havening.
Yes.
Bilateral stimulation, energy medicine, and I don't think I actually mentioned the in week 1 we're doing the Ho'oponopono as well. So I actually don't think I mentioned that with week 1, but that's in week 1. So session 2 is actually, like quite a meaty session, isn't it?
I'll be doing a little bit of what's called brain working recursive therapy as well. BWRT, which is releasing unwanted emotions. So there's all different things going on here. Things that most people may not have even heard of or experienced. It's quite exciting times.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So, anybody have any questions? Because Susan, it looks like it's just you and I having a good chat this morning. Nobody's talking to us. I'm just going to come to these comments actually. So you've got Louise. Louise is saying, "Morning, I'm new to the page, seen loads of good reviews recently." Oh, thank you very much, Louise. That's very kind. Karen is saying, "Do you know what days you are doing the course over before I commit? I know I have the first day free, but need to know the other dates, please." So, Karen, hopefully that's answered your question. And April's asking all about times as well. Diane, you're saying it sounds amazing, guys. It will absolutely be amazing. I'm absolutely sure of it. And I think what's really nice, Susan, is that, it's not this big ongoing thing. You and I are very, very much about giving people the tools to help themselves so that they don't need to have like reoccurring therapy. They don't need to have, constant appointments and constant, if people can understand how to do all these things themselves, then, they don't need to spend hundreds of pounds over the course of 10 years trying to fix themselves.
I think about the workshop, it's important to get out as well. It's not just sitting listening to us yapping and talking all the time, because some workshops are quite like that. People standing talking. This is very much an experience, a journey that you're actually participating in this workshop. Everything we do is highly interactive, and what we're sharing, you're doing on yourself, so that you're getting the benefits from that. So it's certainly not just listening to people talking.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because, people might know what to sit and listen to me and you chatting.
I'm fed up with you already, Stephen. I'm here myself. No, I think it's good to know that it's very much an experience and a journey.
Yeah.
And also that you're sitting in your house. If there's anything that I'd say I'm working on emotions or all different things like that, and you think, well, do you know what? I don't want to do that, then you don't have to do it. You just sit and listen. Nobody's forcing you to participate in any of the methods that we're using unless you actually want to. But you'll learn something, and it's do you know what? Without a doubt, it's really helpful and beneficial to everybody because we've all got emotions. We all think, we all feel, we all need to chill and relax and meditation. And
Yeah.
I'm not wanting to bump Stephen up too much because he gets a really big head, right? He does, honest. He might pretend he doesn't, but he does.
No.
It's like that, honest. You'd hear him after we leave. God, I'm amazing.
I'm humble.
But I do genuinely think that he is the person to help you with meditation and learning how to do that. Not me. I don't know how to do it. He is. He's got all these years of experience. He's a soulmate.
Shut up. Oh, funny. Like I have to say, I don't disagree with you, Susan. Sorry, that's really bad. I'm just going to say no. Actually, no, that's not the case. But do you know what? Like, why do we do that to ourselves as well? Because it's when someone gives you a compliment, and we've spoken.
Thank you.
Before, I am saying thank you. I'm not going to say no. I'm saying thank you, and I'm saying thank you, Susan, for that. That's the nicest thing that you've said to me.
Probably is, actually.
I think it actually is.
Yeah. No, but I always say that to people as well, because when people give us compliments, we cringe and we find it really uncomfortable. And where in fact, if we just learn to say, "Oh, that's lovely, thank you," well, just thank you.
Do you know what's nice? Do you know what's really nice is like, see, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but at the shop, how all of the team, they're always so complimentary to each other. And we just we say things like, for instance, Claire will come in the morning and she'll be like, "Oh, I just love you, bro." And I'm like, "I love you too." Like stuff like that, rather than deflecting it and going, everybody in the shop's like that. They're all so complimentary of each other. They all just, it's such a lovely team.
I didn't give compliments when I'm in the shop.
No.
I just come in and say, "Where's my tea and my roll?" Because I get along to Greg, Stephen.
Susan normally tells me, I've said before, "Oh, Susan, I just think that you're great." And she's like, "Fuck off." That's what she does.
Yes, but from now on, I'm going to say, "Well, thank you. That's very kind of you."
Oh, that's good. She has actually told me, I just actually swore live on Facebook.
Yeah, you did. You did.
But yeah, she has actually told me to F off when I've given her a compliment before. Haven't you?
I probably have, because that word's my friend. I say it quite often.
Yeah.
I am the therapist who swears, and I don't hide that.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a cursor from every now and then, but I try not to do it live on Facebook, unlike Stephen.
We've actually got a banner for you for that. Where is it? Try to find it. Susan Watson. I'm trying to find it.
I think people who know me do know that I swear.
I can't find it.
But I'm always on my best behaviour when I come on here. Well, the best I can do.
April is saying, how do you convince someone who really needs this to take part? I know they need to be ready, though.
All you can do is give them information, and really they have to make that choice themselves. They have to. You can't make anybody do that, because if they were to come on and you were making them do it, they would just sit and think, "You know what, I didn't want to do this." Mm-hmm. And it is something, because you've got to connect with your own emotions and thoughts and feelings and do the inner journeys and things like that. If you really weren't ready, there's not really any benefit, really. Someone's got to want to. Even if, do you know what, you've got to remember as well, even coming on that workshop can be a huge step for somebody. like stepping out their comfort zone, and actually they might feel that really uncomfortable doing it. But I can guarantee that when you're there, you will feel safe and comfortable, because that's what Stephen and I are all about, really. Is we might joke and have a laugh and all the rest of it, but we want people to feel safe and comfortable, and in an environment where it is a safe space where they can make the changes that are best for them. And I think that is something that we both really value and really strive for.
Yeah.
And if anyone was ever there and they wanted to send us a confidential message because perhaps they did feel uncomfortable, then we would support them through that as well.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I think that's a huge big thing, is we are creating a safe space through this, you know. So, and in that safe space as well, anything that's spoken about, you know, every single person will be reminded of like rules of confidentiality when you're inside that session as well, and how it is a safe space. It's a space where you guys can share experiences, and equally we'll have that Facebook group as well as that added extra for, you know, for even more support.
It's a crazy dog in the background, Stephen.
I know.
It's Toby.
Every single time the poster comes to the door. Trying to chain him out of it, but it's not working.
Protecting you and keeping you all safe.
Yeah, he is. He's a pain in the arse, though. See when the door goes, he's like manic. Ah, what you did? Go away.
I would like to add something onto this about the group. Because of the kind of work I understand how difficult things like this can be for people. So when you're in the group, I would absolutely encourage you to share experiences and thoughts and all that in the group with other people. But if there was anything that came up that you felt that you just really couldn't share with the group, then in that case, I would say you can confidentially email me direct.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would always encourage it to try and do it in the group, but if you really couldn't, then you could message me.
Yeah.
So nobody feels that they're ever really alone and they've not got that support.
April's saying there she's also watching, so convince her. What I would say with that is we're not here to convince anybody. We're just here to. That sounds really terrible, but you know, I think that for us, it's so important that we have the right people on the course who need the support and need the help, you know, or on the workshops. And again, if you were in a place where, you know, you felt that you couldn't be there and it felt so uncomfortable, Susan and I wouldn't want anybody feeling like that.
No. What I'm going to throw out there, if anybody's watching this and you are really knowing you're not comfortable or getting the joy and happiness and contentment in your life that you would really hope for, and you want to make changes to live your best life, then if you want to live your best life, it's you that is going to have to do something different. And you know what? Just joining this course may be that first step on that journey. But nothing is ever going to change. Everything will stay the same unless you do something different. And that is. And that's why I get called brutal, because I say it how it is.
Do you know, I'm always very mindful as well. Like, see, whenever we're doing anything like this, I'm always very mindful, you know, because we're sitting here and we're basically selling this workshop.
It's more than that, though. It is more than.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that, you know,
Yeah.
please don't think that this is a sales pitch, guys. Susan and I are not about sales pitches. You know, if you're thinking about it, you know, a £40 workshop for 6 hours of our time, plus all the stuff that we're doing behind the scenes, you know, everything that's involved in creating this, you know, like Susan and I would have a better income from, I don't know.
That's not even anywhere near what I would charge for an hour with somebody.
No.
And actually, people who know me and who's worked with me will actually know that I've got to make a living, but I am not driven by money. Money is not my driver at all. Helping people is my driver. And there's no doubt about that at all.
And
people are priority.
equally, same thing goes with me as well, you know, and that's why we work so well together. Sorry, my daughter's just came in, I think.
I think Stephen's left me alone again. He's really good at doing that. Oh, he's back.
I was shutting the door because she's really noisy. Or it might be my wife. It might be actually some random person that's just walked in my house. So.
And have my cup of tea in your living room and watching telly.
If I see a couple of boys walking past the house with the TV, I know it's somebody who's just walked in. But yeah, like we say, you know, please don't think that this is a sales pitch, because Susan and I, the main intention in this is really to pull everything together that we do and create some sort of workshop that's going to really help and support people's emotional, physical, mental well-being, you know. And I think, you know, if I was to put that into monetary value, I think it's invaluable. You know, I think that, you know, invaluable, is that the right word?
Yes, it is. Invaluable.
Yeah. You know, you would spend £20 on a Chinese on Friday night. I would rather spend £20 on my own self-development than £20 on a Chinese. So yeah,
I would say, what if you don't know anything about me and you just thought, this is Susan Watson sitting here saying she's got to do this and that, who the hell is she anyway? Pop over to Perfect Solutions Coaching on Facebook, or actually on any social media, because I'm all over the place, and have a look and actually see the kind of things I do. Read my reviews, look at the work that I do, and you'll see the experience that I have and really what other people think of me and the kind of things that I share.
Yeah.
Because not everybody will know me.
And I think that's always the thing, you know, when you're doing any kind of learning or training with anybody, I always say this to people: see if I'm not the right person for you, don't do it. You know, because you might be sitting here watching this and you might be thinking, I quite like watching their surgeries, but they're a pair of fannies, you know.
Yes, we are.
And if you feel like that, then don't. You know, what's the point in doing any kind of learning or training with anybody?
But Stephen, I think that.
I think they're a pair of fannies.
But I have to say, right,
Don't do it!
what you see is what you get, because we don't have this front or pretense that we put on, coming on and trying to do the big sell. You've seen the real Susan here and you're seeing the real Stephen. And I think that's important as well, because there is no pretend. And if you look at all of my videos on YouTube, you'll see that none of them are really professional videos or anything like that, because I want people to see the real me so they know what they're getting, so they can actually make that choice. I want to go and see it or not, because I am on a really high integrity and honesty, and I do not pretend to be anything I'm not. This is me. You either like me and want to work with me, or you might think, as Stephen said, what a fanny she is, I'm not going to meet her. And that's, do you know what I mean? You're entitled to do that too. And you are entitled.
I think that's the thing, though. Like, I have to say, genuinely have to say this, that every single person that we work with in the shop as well, you know, they all echo honesty. They're actually maybe too honest, I think. I think we've maybe created a monster with that.
And to be too honest. Honesty is really important.
Aye.
It's sometimes really hard to be honest, because when you're honest, people sometimes don't like what you're saying, because they're not ready for that honesty. But I would rather be honest and true to myself. I never used to be. I spent many years, when I had all this stress and anxiety and other issues in my life, not being really honest. So now, to me, it's the core of who I am. It's so important to me, because earlier in my life, I didn't feel that I could be true to myself. So now I am. And that's just me, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
Do you know what I find really funny, though? I find absolutely, it's probably the most hilarious thing in the world is that Susan will just say it as it is. Even if I don't like what she's going to say, she's like, no, you're wrong. You're talking shite. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
All right then, Susan. And I love that. I love that people are so honest. I love that, you know, we could talk about honesty all day, but, you know, for me, that's the kind of people that I want to align myself with, and that's the people that I want to work with. and that's very much how our business is run. It's run in a way that's honest, but and that's equally the way that all the people within it run.
I'll share something with you, Stephen. When I first met you, when I first heard about you, right? This is true. You might not like what I'm going to say. I thought he's too good to be true. I'm telling you the truth, right?
Really?
I hadn't met you. I'd been seeing you on Facebook and things, and I was thinking, nah, there's something wrong here. This guy can't be the true thing. He's that on. That's a marketing ploy, right? And I did think that, hand on my heart, you know that I will say it. And I actually thought he's fake, right? I've got him trust. He's fake, right? But actually, see, when I met you, and it was when we met at the Scottish Government.
Yeah.
I actually got on really well with you. And I thought, I still wasn't convinced, but I thought, I think I'm wrong about him. Right? I think he is like a good guy. He's a true thing. And the more, it didn't take me long at all, and I got to know you. And that's why I worked so much with it. I absolutely, I know 100% that you are the real deal. But I think I'd met so many people that had developed this fake front and marketed themselves in particular ways in the past. I had that bit of suspicion about you. But you know what? Anyone who's watching, what you see is 100% what you get. Because if it wasn't, I would just tell you F off. And I don't know. Yeah. And I'd been honest with you, at first I did think, he's a fake. He's pretending to be somebody who's no. And I'm not talking about what you do. I'm talking about the good guy, nice guy.
Thanks, you dickhead.
But that's a compliment, because I actually realised that you're probably one of the very few real people that I've came across in my life. That's true. Now you can.
You're making me quite emotional. So, Susan, what? Do you know what? Like, see, for me, it's a very natural thing. It doesn't like I'm just myself. You know, I am. That's who I am. You know, and I think if people don't believe that, then they'll be convinced of that.
It wasn't that I didn't think you were real. I just thought you're too nice to be true. But actually, you are that nice. But I also know you're a miserable git at times as well, so that balances it out. You're human. You're not perfect. You're imperfectly perfect, like the rest of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I need to stop talking. I need to stop slagging you, making a fool of you, and laughing at you all the time. Yeah. I need to behave myself.
It's true what you're saying, because I do have days where I'm like, I'm just a fucking idiot. I hate myself. I'm rubbish. And we
all have that. We all have
a lot today. Sorry, but like genuinely, I do have really down days, and I think that's important.
It is important. It's important to get it out there as well, because all the things that you see when we're sitting laughing and joking here, or you're seeing on social media, people portraying their perfect families. You know what? We all have miserable days. We all have days, stress, anxiety. We all have days where we doubt ourselves and don't think we can do what we want to do. It's called being human. And I think that's important to get out there, that nobody has that perfect life. We all have these doubts and feelings and emotions, and it's perfectly normal to feel like that at times.
The way I see things, Susan, though, you know, like, and I really mean this, the way I see things is my window on the world is that everybody else is like me, that everybody else is that, you know, authentic, genuine person. And I suppose when people don't do things the way that we do them, I suppose it's my expectation of other people that's let down rather than people letting me down.
Do you know what the thing is, though? We never know what's going on in other people's lives.
Yeah.
We never. And I think we've all got to remember that is what we see and what people portray outward. You never know what's going on. Nobody has, as I've said this perfectly, everybody has something. Old pains, old hurts, whatever. Because nobody can live a life without ever experiencing pain or hurt in some way. So you never know. And perhaps at times, including myself, we can get wrapped up in our own sort of view of the world that we forget that other people have their own experience and a different view. And sometimes I need to step back and remind myself that too, because I can be a right pain in the ass. My husband tells me that every day. You're a right pain in the ass, Susan. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with him.
No, no, so yeah. He actually says I'm the most annoyingly happy person he's ever met, and it actually drives him mad because he wishes I would shut up for a minute. And I know that's true, but it's only because the difficulties and challenges I've had in the past, they've made me who I am today and made me appreciate things more because I didn't have that. So I guess I can still be a right miserable git. So when he drops the towels, that annoys me.
It's really funny because my wife says the same about me. She's like, you are the most annoying person. Because I wake up in the morning, I'm like, morning!
Like, shut up!
Be quiet, let me have my coffee. That's what she's like. And then I do things that are annoying. Like, I like to annoy the kids. I'm one of these dads where I'm like, oh, you fancy your teacher, eh? Like, I'm one of these really annoying dads. Or I get annoyed with the kids and I'm like, for God's sake, and I shout at them. And Nikki will say, oh, aye, Mr. Soulman, eh? I'm going to put you on live and let all your Soulman and Friends people see the absolute dickhead that you really are.
I love it. Do it, Nikki.
And I'm like, but that's part of being normal, like I get frustrated with the kids. I shout at the older kids that you go into their bedroom and there's penicillin growing all over the place. I'm like, but that's part of being who we are as normal functioning human beings. We can't be those high performing, amazing, loving, spiritual people all the time, can we?
It's something to aim for, but unfortunately we're human beings. Yes, absolutely.
I say for me it's 90-10. So 90% of the time I am like really upbeat, happy, nice, approachable, loving. 10% of the time I can be really moody and really grumpy and really nippy. But I think that's very normal. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I could be a right miserable so-and-so, but you know what? It doesn't last that long. It doesn't really. What I need to, when I'm like that, I know I need to be on my own.
I'm the same, yeah.
Because I'm quite an introvert. I wouldn't think so. I'm an introverted person. As in, I recharge by being I need to get away from people. I need to withdraw. And I need to be on my own. And that's when I put my music on and all the rest of it. And then, do you know what? I just feel so much better. So it's finding what works for you. Eh? Where some people find that they're energized by being around a lot of different people. That's a wee bit like my idea of hell. I need to pull back.
Yeah. For me, over the years, it's all been about finding my own self-regulation, I suppose, I used to be a really overly happy person, and then I suppose as life experience pulls you into adulthood and whatever, you do get grumpy about certain things, but it's about then going back and learning how you deal with them.
Took me a long time to learn. It took me about 50 years to learn not to be a grumpy so-and-so.
Yeah. Well, it took me a bit less than that, so I've got one up on you.
Stephen, we're over an hour.
Oh, are we?
We've been sitting gibbering here. Everybody's left 20 minutes ago.
Is it just you and I talk? Is you and I talking? Oh no, it's not. We've got people watching. That's fine.
Thank you for hanging on. Hope to see you in our workshop.
I never actually thought about that. We've just been talking shite for the last 15 minutes. Anyway,
thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening this morning. And the reason that Susan and I wanted to talk about this is purely and simply because we had nothing else to talk about this morning. And it genuinely is, because we messaged each other this morning saying, what we're going to talk about. And then I thought, why don't we talk about our workshop? You know,
and it is a benefit to everybody. So it wasn't coming on with a hard sell, it was just being honest.
Yeah.
And then you've got a choice, either you come on or you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope to see you.
We'll be more sensible. I promise. I'll be a wee bit more sensible.
Yeah. We'll have a bit of fun, a bit of learning, a bit of fun, a bit of learning, a bit more fun, and a bit more learning. And that's how it should be. Because when you're enjoying something and when you're having fun, you're learning.
Absolutely. Learning more.
Yeah. And it's a much more immersive experience. So we hope to see you there on the 7th of March. And if you are interested, the link is up in the comments. Actually, I'll maybe just pop it back in there just so everybody can see it again just before we go. If you are interested, all you need to do is fill in the form. We will get in touch with you over the next few days. 1 second. With all of the info that you need. So there you go. Done and dusted. Susan, thank you so much for today. I've really enjoyed just having a nice wee blather. And I never knew that you thought I was a dickhead when you first met me. So thanks very much for that as well.
You're welcome.
And for anybody who's interested in tomorrow's Soul Man surgery, which absolutely you are, Susan moved to Thursday very kindly because we have got Dean Cameron coming on tomorrow, who is from all the way up in Fort William, lives right next to the Ben. And he's had quite a tough time over the last couple of years. And what he's done is he's really transformed and turned his life around by doing lots of different things to do that. I'm not going to share too much on what he's done, but he's turned his life around, and what he does is cold water immersion every single day. So he jumps into I think it's Loch Ben, I'm not too sure. And he has created a massive following on TikTok. So we're going to be speaking to him tomorrow, which is very exciting. So join us tomorrow, 9:30 for Dean. And from Susan and I, we shall see you on Monday. What we're going to talk about on Monday, Susan?
Who knows? We'll find something.
We will find something. So thank you so much and see you later. Bye. For now.
Bye.
Get strong.
Imagine liking me, you wee shite.
That was so funny.
Oh, wait a minute, we're still live.